people, as you can tell, my hair is a disaster. I just took it out. I have to dye it. It's horrible. But I was just outside and I came in before I relax and get comfy. I wanted to do a demonstration. This is for all my mediums out there that are new to this, or paranormal investigators that are digging into this. Actually, I forgot one thing. 1 second. Put it back. Alright, so some basic things that I don't have here to show you that are also very good. Brick dust, you can actually order that and get it. That's used in Creole magic for protection. But you can just use salt. I'm just putting it out there. Alright, let's start with the basics. Whether you have spiritual gifts or not, and you're wishing to communicate with anything, you have to pick a prayer in your faith or your belief that is gonna, you need something that's gonna be for protection. You can do the Lord's Prayer, you can do Mark. The beast's name almost came out of my mouth. That would have been awesome. They will be exposed by their own mouth. I don't need to. But I'm having a really hard time saying religious stuff over the last couple of days. Again, reminiscence of somebody trying to possess my soul. I had to fight for my life, people. This is not a fucking joke. This is a real thing. And they're fucking with me, so just bear with me if I have to pause to this. It's not you. It's just, I am a baddie fighting a war you just can't see right now. Anyway, I always start with cleansing my body, my soul, my anything around me. Sage is your friend. I like white sage. Technically speaking, I was taught with green sage because of where I live. It's prominent in our area because of Native American. Either or works. It's the same thing. They do have different properties. I like white sage because of the white cloaking of angelic protection in my own beliefs. But again, green sage, it's just as potent, just as powerful. I also don't mess around. I am a powerful medium, and anyone who doesn't know how to use your gifts, you are going to be a heavy target. So you want to amp up your security. So do this on top of your sage. I always burn frankincense, more white sage, and myrrh. These two, this is what you smell in church, frankincense and myrrh. When you have funerals, when they come in and they get those demonic spirits out of your house, they use frankincense and myrrh. Demonic things hate the smell of these. So the more that you put this around, if you are being attacked or if you're scared, the more you put this around, the better. Just know that you're probably, if you're looking for like proof on video camera of something demonic, I would hold off on these because this is going to keep that activity back. They're not going to want to come where this is blowing. But I wouldn't fuck around with getting, like, do we need proof of these motherfuckers? Let's just deal with the ones that we have to deal with that are here, okay? I also add Palo Santo. I burn this as well. I burn this right along with my sage. All of this. This is when I'm doing my prayer. I'm leaving that prayer to you. You can pick whatever is best. It's got to be something that you believe in. That's going to give you power. That's going to make you feel protected and safe, like you have a veil around you. Because this is why you do these prayers. You are creating your armor before you go in to investigate or before you step up to communicate with a spirit. You are armored so that nobody can get in. And I always say, no matter what I do, this is my vessel and mine alone. You are not allowed to go through it, pass through it, or manipulate it in any way. You are not allowed to come with me away from this property. You are not allowed to follow me home. You have to stay here. And then I say it again at the end, just to make sure that nothing is coming home with me, nothing is staying. I say it before I get in my vehicle. I say it after I get in my vehicle, so that if anything had stuck into my vehicle, I tell it that it can't be there, it has to go. And then before I enter my home, I say again, if there is anything that has gotten through all of my barriers that is still connected with me, you are banned and cut from me now. You are not at all welcome across this threshold. And that's it. That's my final protection. And I sage and I Palo Santo, and I do this again before I even enter my home. Because of how powerful of a medium I am and because of the work I do, I protect my home and my family like a fortress. And you should treat yourself the same way, your vessel, your body the same way. We are human. We have limitations. There are things that these things can do to us that we don't like to face, we don't like to think about because we're trying to go in there strong. But don't ever forget that you are a human having a human experience. You are not in your full form. When you are in your full form, like Archangel Michael is, you can whoop some ass, okay? On levels you can't hear. But until then, you have limitations, and there's only so much ass whooping you can do before you gotta get out of Dodge and let the angels take over. That's why when I feel scared, I call the angels in and I sneaky peek out right behind them. They're in front of me, and they know, because I am a human having a human experience. My vessel is softer and more vulnerable, and I called them to protect me, to get me out. And that's exactly what they're doing, and that's what they will do for you. Talk to the angels as if they are right there with you. Always treat them with respect. Always say thank you. But in the heat of the moment, when things are getting tough, Michael, I need you now. Please help me. Don't be afraid to say that. And don't be afraid to say it a little bit aggressively. Michael understands combat. He understands it well. He will pick up on your fear, and he will answer, and he will respond. Gabriel, Uriel, all of the angels will help you. I find whoever pumps into my head at that exact moment is who comes out my mouth. What angel, I need angels' help. Whoever comes in my mind, I say it out of my mouth. And they always show up. They never let me down. Even if I don't feel it right away, they're there. They don't let nobody touch me, and they're not going to let anybody touch you, but you literally have to call them. You have to say, angels, guard me and protect me. I give you permission to shield me during battle, during this investigation. Watch over me. Have my six in places that I can't see. Anything that, you really have to say, I dot all my T's, and I cross all my T's and I dot all my I's. Spirit, if there is an evil spirit creeping up on me and I do not see it and I do not sense it, I ask that you see it and sense it first, and be my eyes and be my ears and protect me and do what I need to do, what I would do for myself on behalf of me. Be my eyes in the back of my head, Spirit. I need you on this one. They do not let me down when I spell it the F out. People don't. This is the trick. They just want to get in there. They don't. I will take 10 minutes just out there by the tree being a weirdo by myself, just talking to the air. Everyone's like, just let her do her thing because that's what she does. I'm talking to my guides. I'm telling them specifically what I need and what I want. And if people think that's weird, that's fine. But I get you your dirt that you need on your investigation, okay? It's because I'm talking to my guides. Okay. They need voices, they need sounds, they need, to see things. So whatever you can do to help me, Spirit, in the safest way possible, is within the light of God, to help people see that there is a other side. My mission here, angels, I would like to show people seeing is believing, And I tell them my secret missions on top of my secret missions, and they help me when they can. It's not going to be every investigation that I get stellar investigation, but stellar evidence. But let me tell you, when that day comes, when I need it, when I need the world to see shit go down, Spirit is going to step up. She's been working on this since back then. She's been asking us this for 2 years now. So be specific with what you want from Spirit. Be specific with what you're scared of with Spirit, because when you face your fear within yourself and you face it in a protective space with your guides, guides, I'm really scared of this demonic one. I don't want to get possessed, so I'm going to ask you to step up even more because this fear exists and I don't want it to use it against me. Can you please, please help me, defend me, guard my soul. Do not let them, like, just saying that makes me feel better because I admitted to them, like, guys, I'm more scared than usual. I think that's a weakness. Help me. There's a kink in my shield, guys. I let them know. Ask and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive. Ask and you get screwied. Or don't ask and you get screwied. I fucked that up. You know what I mean with my dyslexic brains. Like, literally, sometimes shit doesn't go down because I did not, like, say thank you. I did not acknowledge my guides normally. Sometimes I bring, on investigations, if I know anything in advance, like if there's kids, I'll bring toys to try to interact with them. But most of the time I like to bring something, especially if it's somebody's home. Like fruit. In my beliefs, offering something is a sign of peace. I'm coming in peace. This is your energy. This is your dwelling. I'm not here, even though they can sense that I'm one that can remove them off earth if I want to. I'm coming in with honor and hoping to be the peaceful communicator between the people who currently reside in the dwelling and who once did. I'm letting them know, like, hey, I'm a mediator. I come in peace. I'm a medium, and I'm helping you communicate what your needs are for you to cross over and to have your afterlife and what these people need to have. And I just try to appease it in the best possible way. Granted, most times when there is demonic things in the house, the first thing they attack is my gift. So there's another way to, or they try to favor me. There was one time that I brought in the offering and it kept saying my name and it kept luring me away from everybody while trouble was afoot. So it was making me feel like it was protecting me, when really it was wanting my soul the most. And it's like, get closer to me. Get closer to me. But it was a demonic motherfucker. But it made it seem, through the investigation, that I kept hearing my name in opposite sides of the house. Like, if there was a knife that slid across the counter towards somebody who was investigating. And, like, maybe a minute or two before that happened, across the house, in a completely different room, they heard, Lizzie. Where's Lizzie? Clearly like that, Lizzie. Where's Lizzie? Like it wanted to know I was not in the room when the knife moved. It was fucking freaky. And then we figured out what it was really doing by what the teen, we found out that there was a teen girl who didn't tell us. She didn't tell us what she was experiencing. Like everyone else in the house was telling us, and she was like, fuck off, this is stupid. And it was favoring her. She was protecting it. I was the link in us investigators and seeing why she had become a recluse and kind of turned goth, and it was separating her. And it was trying to do the same thing to me. So you really, really got to be fucking careful. These things are intelligent. I know that you're not always going to get an intelligent haunting, but it happens more times than you think. And they're not, in my opinion, like the really active houses are not nice. They're really active for a reason. They don't want people in it. And they usually have people moving in and out all the time. That's another sign. Anyway, we're getting into other basic tools that I always have across. This was my grandma's. If you could get it from somebody who is deceased that you had a close bond to, who was actually religious and doesn't have any dark, dirty skeletons in their closet. Like my grandma was very devout. She went to church every single week. She read the Bible every day. This was just one of her crosses. She had a couple of these. The church actually gave her a couple of these a year. They had it up in my church, and they have it up in the cemetery. It's like a mini one of our town cemetery. Like in the middle of our cemetery is a giant one sticking in the sky. So I just wanted a mini version of that to remind myself of home when I moved away. So she gave this to me, and she said, whenever you feel scared, you just hug this close to you and you pray, and God will be there for you. So I take it on investigations, and I do. I hold it close. And when I get scared, this is the thing that I will walk around. I will not let anybody touch it. I will walk the whole house and just hold this. And I'm like, no, my grandma is here. Nobody can touch me if grandma is here. But that's really the scary house. I don't just use it for scary stuff. I bring this out for people who are really religious like my grandma was. I feel like they connect to this a lot. Objects like this are very important in your work. It has to be somebody you are very, very, very close to and have a deep emotional bond that protects you from the other side. This is my link to grandma. It's like I'm holding her when she's here, like, Grandma, I'm scared. It's real. Like, that's how much of a connection this cross is. I don't just hug it when I miss her. I hug it, happy birthday, Grandma. I can't. She's not here to hug, and so to me, that's why I bring this. One is a religious artifact that means a lot to me. It's from the church I was raised in. Given by the pastor to my grandma, then given to me. So it has a line of respect that they honor up there, and that's what makes, that's what gives an artifact power. Somebody who had life in it meant something to them. My grandma had life, religion meant something to her. This cross meant something to her. I meant something to her, and it means something to me, and then I'm going to pass it to someone else. Always keep this in your toolbox. I have a few things like this, but this is the only one I'm going to show because most likely if you're on an investigation with me, this is what I also sage with. Like I'll sage and hold this through the house as well because it's just, 2 for 1. I got a cross right in front of me too, and a feather. You know what I mean? So I also carry things to communicate in my kit. Mirth wanted to fall. I carry, these aren't in my kit. These are around my house in case the power goes out, but I do have, actually I don't have a kit anymore because I don't know anyone who paranormal investigates around here much. I sometimes pop in. I used to be prevalent, now I'm not, but I always have like 3 different kinds of lights, because you don't really know what kind of spirit you're dealing with. I find that when you get lanterns, people from early days like these and respond better. However, you do have to really show them how to do it. Like, if there's any spirits in this house, I have a lantern. It's a little different than your lantern, a lot smaller. We don't use fire anymore. This is how we turn our lanterns on. You just take this knob and you turn it to the left or right, whatever it is, and then you turn it the other way to turn it off. Now, granted, this kind of light takes a lot of energy, so you're getting 2 things with this light. This spirit that can turn this light on and off, this powerful ass switch, is old. They've been here for a minute, and or they could be not human at all, a demonic entity, or what I call a ghoulie, never human at all. Or they're just old and they have a lot of skills. They don't have to be a bad spirit. They just have been here. They know how to fuck with us. They know how to respond. Most likely intelligent, because I don't see many spirits being able to flick this on that doesn't have an intelligent mind. I've seen knobs move and then go back, not all the way, and I heard the click before. It's like they couldn't fully turn it. That still counts for me. If you hear that, but the light didn't come on, that's still got to move to make that noise, guys. So pay attention to those kinds of things. All right, the light didn't move on, but the switch keeps clicking. They work it within their limitations. I like press-on lights, because this is really easy for spirits. Just tell them, just put a little bit of pressure and it pops up. This is really easy for kid ghosts. Really like these ones a lot because it's like a game. It's like, like a magic trick. And anyone who comes from like when they had torches for lights also like this. They play with this a lot. Like, I got one capture. It wasn't my investigation, but we got one. But it wasn't from this light. It was cute though. It's like they were amazed. Which makes sense because where we were didn't have people in it for mad long time. Like, there was no house there anymore. Like, it was just in the middle of the woods, but there used to be a house. So, like, we were trying to investigate where everything was. So the spirits were just kind of like there for centuries, and so they didn't have like house stuff, so like well, not centuries, our country isn't that old, but you know what I mean, a couple 100 years I would assume. Then I always have regular candles, and when you're white is for purity and protection, blue is for healing. These are the ones that I stick with as a healer, but every candle has a different meaning, and you can get different ones, and you can learn all about candles. I don't hate on candle magic, because as long as you're not writing anything evil on those candles that you burn, I do it myself. I'll show you. I got these little candles. This is what I do on a full moon. They're not over here, but I have like sewing pins. And so I take a sewing pin and I write my intent on the candle. So blue is healing. So I haven't been feeling well. So I would write, I wish to feel better. And then I would just light it under a full moon. That's all you do. You know what I mean? People think we're out here doing spells, but I don't do that kind of stuff. I had every candle. I'm out of red. I have one black left. But red and black get a bad connotation. Red is for love, but it's also healing, deep love, sacral chakra, heart chakra stuff. So is green. But black I use to cast out any evil in somebody's home. I sucked it in the candle, and then I doused the candle in salt and buried it and put a rock on it. I buried it with salt too. And just for safe measure, I sprinkled salt everywhere on top of the rock too. But salt is always your friend. I also love pink Himalayan salt. I use this a lot. You can get it right in the drugstore. You don't even have to go to a Wiccan store. I use this a lot of the time. And my moon water, it smells amazing. It also has rose in it. Rose properties are also very healing and cleansing too. I'm a flower girl too. Flowers, I tap into earth. I'm an earth sign. But anyway, I was saying, always try to bring something religious with you with a candle. If this ever breaks or smashes over, that's a telltale sign that something demonic isn't happy. And sometimes they won't respond to flashlights, but they'll manipulate a candle wick as well. So always have candles out. That's a go-to. If you are on an investigation, kids or not, balls are always good to have in your kit. All different kinds. My cats are looking at me, but I usually take them. Like, I'll take a regular tennis ball. I'll take one that makes noise, and I'll take a weird one that feels weird, has a little bell in it, and I'll sit on the floor, and I'll put them in different locations, and I'll sit in the middle, and I'll say, if there's any spirits in here, you want to play ball with me? And I'll see if they respond. And a couple times they have rolled. And a couple times they've rolled all the way to me. And sometimes they just kept going to the same ball, showing intelligence that they like this ball over all of the other ones. You don't need high-tech gear. They will respond to this shit if you are a beginner. Just remember to sage and do all that kind of stuff before you and always close out. Always say goodbye. Like, okay, spirits, thank you for spending time with me. This is where I leave you when you stay here. I wish you all the best. I wish you love and light. But I'm going my way and you're going yours. Love and light. No, let them know that there is a divide, that you are leaving and they are not to come. You never want to bring anything home with you. But like I said, salt, always in my kit. Crystals, I get these little, my peridot top came off, but I get these little bottles on Amazon in a big kit, and this is what I put inside my moon water. But I bring them with me so that either I can just put some in my pocket or I can sprinkle some out in a room if there's a lot of like really dark, like per se, if there was a lot of evil in a room and I need to stay in light in that room, I'm going to put some tiger's eye all over my fucking bed. I don't give a shit. No evil's coming near me when I'm sleeping. You know what I mean? But I have to put my peridot back in here. Almost the whole dang bottle. At least it spilled in a bucket without any holes in it, so I get them all back. Peridot is my birthstone. I actually got this from somebody I used to work with. That's how long that they stay with me, because I really only use these ones for moon water. Like, I just take the cork off and I sprinkle a little in so that each moon water bottle has some, crystals in it. I charge them in the sun first, then I put them in the moon and charge it in the moon. That's how you make moon water, by the way. Himalayan or regular salt in the water. Bless it with your own belief blessing you want to create. Charge it in the sun the day before the full moon or the day of the full moon. I like to do it 2 days in each. So 2 days when the moon is up, the water will be under the moon. 2 days when the sun is brightest, the water will be in the sun so that the crystals and the salt in the water can charge. That's how you make moon water. Moon water to me is my holy water. I will straight dab that on like holy water before I go into investigation. It's pure crystal and salt water, so nothing demonic can manipulate that. It's pure Himalayan salt. First of all, that's one of the purest salts on this earth, and it's blessed, and it's 2 days under a sun and 2 days under a moon, blessed by God. But if you don't want to do all that, you can go to a church. Churches sell holy water. You might have to call ahead for some churches. They will sell you a vial, or you can just bring a cup and just dip it in their little thing at the door if you want to be ghetto about it. I've done that before when I was a teenager, and I didn't want to tell anyone that I was being harassed. I would just come in on Sunday and I had like those travel shampoo things, and I would just dip it in. And all week I would put that on, and whatever was in my room was forced to leave me alone while I had that on there. So, holy water is always good to have in your kit, like legit blessed holy water from a priest, and moon water if you could. I also keep a bell in my kit. Hello, we are here, spirits. Can you hear us? They will also pick it up and ring it. That scared the fuck out of me. I was upstairs in an investigation. We had already gone through the basement, the main floor. We even did the attic. We came back and we were just like hovering around in the upstairs talking about stuff. Deadass. The same fucking bell. In the kitchen. We come running down the stairs like maybe we thought somebody was here, and like, because we did order pizza. No, there's no way anyone could get down there without driving. We would have seen it. Nothing on the camera. The bell didn't, like, it didn't even look like it moved off enough to shake it. Like, I don't even know how it made the sound. So bells, although it's scary when they do decide, but think about bells. Bells have been around. The Liberty fucking Bell. Every spirit that pretty much, did some shit would know what a bell is. And they would know to pick up this bell and shake it. So if they don't understand any other tools that you have in your chest, they will understand a fucking bell. They will understand a ball. They will understand paper and a piece of... I've left a piece, like a little pencil stub and a piece of paper, and I put it across, and I did a whole investigation. I left it there like 4 hours, bro. I almost forgot about it. And before I set it down, I said, if anybody would like to leave me a letter, I love letters. Or would you like to draw me a picture? I will take it with me when I go. Like, I was talking to them in hopes to get something. Anyway, we set it on the floor. There's no way whatever was on there that could have just, like, the pencil couldn't have just rolled across and made it. Like, the pencil did not move. It was, like, legit in the same spot. The spirit put it back exactly where the fuck it was, and all that was on it was 2 giant lines across it. Like, I don't feel like they were scary or any random order. They were just like, somebody was here. And I was, like, so fucking impressed. We didn't, of course, keep a camera on it because we didn't think we were going to get anything. We should have. But maybe that's why we got something, because we didn't have a camera on it. They don't always want to be shown, I'm finding. That's like even the older ones now know what cameras are. It's weird. Like, they're learning what we're doing. Like, that's why paranormal investigators get a lot of stuff. They fuck with us as much as we think that we're, like, great No. They fuck with us like little rabbits, okay? Half of the time. They're just fucking off, scaring us, like, just trying to have a, like, listen, you're walking into their dwelling. They're not hurting nobody. They're minding their business. They might, you know, be at a pub somewhere and occasionally pull on someone's skirt. Might occasionally scare an employee, but they're not really, like, doing anything to hurt anyone. They're bored. They're stuck here and they're bored. So just cross them over. Or they're just going to keep boring people and, like, fucking with them and fucking with you investigators when you come. And sometimes they do participate with us. I find that they want to tell us our stories a lot. Like, yeah, I was here. What the fuck? Like, they didn't have newspapers and shit all the time. They didn't have the internet. They want to be famous. Still. Anyway, what else can I cover? I think that's pretty good for the basics. You know, crystals, sage, Palo Santo, incense like frankincense and myrrh, different flashlights, different toys, candles, a bell, a cross. You can write down your prayers so that you know them all, or keep a Bible in there if you just want to grab it and start reading stuff out of the Bible. Reading stuff specifically that Jesus said does have a reaction to all evil. I am bear witness to that. Just saying what Jesus said, like his words verbatim, they don't fucking like it. And I'm like, it's like a broken record. I'm just going to keep saying it until you go the fuck away. That's how I went. I'm more annoying than them. God's like, that's my girl. I taught her to be that annoying and come up with all these quirky... I want you to get your evidence, okay? I think outside the motherfucking box. I am not a technical one. I'm not going to build you a ghost box. I'm going to go ancient, old school and find a way to talk to pirates. So they understand. I'm that kind of investigator. I'm not a techie. I am the reverse psychologist in the situation. They don't know what you're saying. They don't know what the fuck that is over there. Think about it. If you were from 1608, would you know what the fuck that was? You're making it too complicated. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you soon. If you like this, if you want more sneaks and peeks into my don't tell side of life. Again, I don't do this much anymore. I miss the fuck out of it. I love investigating. But at the same time, it does open you up to a lot of shit. And I'm already having a problem just working at Amazon. But that is 5 floors of people. I would rather just deal with one house with a couple spirits in it. True story. How many energies are in the building I work at? Or this one that I live in? Yikes. Yikes. Anyway, I love you guys. Any paranormal investigators out there, keep doing your damn thing. You got this. It's just about evidence. I get it. We need to prove to people that there is an afterlife. So, 1, they act better in life and stop doing dumb shit because there's consequences. And 2, I don't want people to ever die scared. I'm sick of people dying scared. Please don't be scared if you're dying. Like, I promise you, it's like, I wouldn't want to die as far as, I don't want this to end either. I'm not ready to let go. I totally understand that, and I'm sorry. But as far as, like, no pain, okay? I've been there for not very long. I didn't get to see anything. I only got to feel things. I feel like that was, like, because I didn't technically die, so they're like, no, you can't see. You can only feel it. I didn't get the full show, the full ticket. I got the preview. Sorry, I'm not ready for the full ticket. Nobody really is, though. But when the moment comes, I promise you, you will be ready. It's going to be hard, but it's not a fear thing. There's nothing to fear unless you are an evil, fucking murderous, unsorry motherfucker. Then yes, you will be one of the hospice nurses capturing someone. Ah! That's a bad one. If you're a nurse out there and I'm a psychic medium, I cross people over all the time. I'm a different kind of nurse. I'm letting you know right now, they did not go to the good place if they screamed like that. If they look scared, that's not the same thing. I'm talking about the screamers. That's like a telltale side that they're either headed straight for purgatory or the other side. Most of the time it's purgatory. God don't like to give up. Even the darkest, the people you would even be like, really? Is in heaven? Really? You would be shocked. Because they went to purgatory and they won their boots back. So, purgatory isn't fun at all. There's a goddess named Hell there, like Hel, not double L, that's the place. She is the one that looks after all of you while you're learning what you need to do. And if God's like, all right, this one can come home, then she sends you back. But most of the time you just sit there. And she tries her best to alter you in the right direction. Hell gets a bad rap. She's actually a good person. Like, she wasn't sent down there to be punished. She just has this unique gift of seeing in people what no one else can see. Like, the rest of the world would be like, murderers and scumbags and bleh. You know what I mean? She's like, potential, good hearts, I can fix this. That's why she went there. Okay? So when you're learning about all these goddesses and they tell you all the time that Sekhmet was a demon, she's not. You know what I mean? Like that. Whatever, I don't want to put my stuff into it too much. This is about your mission. Know your truth. That's what my point is. Know your truth and own that. Because there's a lot of shit out here that can get very confusing and heavy. Just tune it out. Exit stage left. Have a nice evening. I love you. Toodaloo boo boos. Boy.